Good morning, everyone. I'm outside because it's so beautiful out here today. Today's Sunday. So, I had some very interesting things sent to me through my channel where this one, Holly, I think it's Wick or Holly. She sent me this interesting thing out in the Utah, I think it was Utah, in the desert area where the rocks are. I think it was Utah. And it was this silver thing that looked like it was definitely man-made. From what I understand, it was supposedly there for a little while, and they just discovered it. And wanted to talk about that. But before I do, I just got an email set up. So if you want to talk to me, it's also on my channel in the About tab, my email, but I will be posting it in the link below. Because I've had a few requests for people to talk to me, and this way you can email me back and forth and I can have a conversation with you. Where if you don't want people to know what you're asking or what have you, that's great too, whatever. Okay, so back to this obelisk-looking thing, metal thing in the desert. Or maybe is it kind of desert? It looked rocky and deserty, whatever. So I looked into it, and I saw that it's actually tech. This kind of tech is not known to the common person. You will not have equipment to see what this actually is capable of doing because we don't have that kind of tech to detect it. And let me talk about what I found. This tech is very old knowledge. It works interdimensionally. And unless you have equipment to test it interdimensionally, it's going to just seem like some kind of silver obelisk dead thing. So this tech is interdimensional. What it does, from what I see, because our brains are interdimensional and we can use our beings as the same tech, because it's almost based on the same kind of theory through your pineal gland. It's interdimensional. This is why you can have things where you perceive it in the future or perceive it in the past when everything is really in the now. But it's based on the same, I guess, ability or technology, even though we are biological technology. Anyway, it's AI. What it does is we have everything is superimposed on top of each other here dimensionally. And what it does is it just slips to a higher dimensional and then goes to where it needs to go, and then it can slip back down. But in this slipping back down, it changes its frequency, so we don't have that kind of technology to detect that frequency. But it literally slips in and slips out. So on this, I would say 3D, but we're actually in 4D. Even in the 4D, it would not be detectable with our technologies because, of course, we're not giving those technologies. We're so far behind, it's not even funny. Underneath our cities, there are so many cities underneath of our ground. It's not even fun. As much as there is above, there's that much below. And actually, since we're in only a smaller part of the bigger Earth, that's like everywhere. Outside of this snow globe that we live in. It's actually more common to be under the ground than it is to be above the ground. So the reason I see this is because there's so much manipulation that can take place above the ground, where you might have factions that want to make your life incredibly difficult. So they can, like they do now, they do the chemtrailings. They do the weather manipulation with HAARP, which is the United States Navy, who has HAARP on wheels. Oh, that's just a whole nasty thing. Of course, they have all kinds of things to manipulate the above ground. It's a lot harder to manipulate the underground. Yes, you can have scalar weaponry, but one of the things about going underground is that there are natural things that can combat some of the scalar weaponry that they can do with certain types of minerals and things like gold and whatever have you, because I see other things too. Oh boy, I'm digressing. This morning I was outside also, and I saw two planes flying like this, side by side. They were apart, not that far, and they were chemtrailing. And I looked into that and I'm like, why are they chemtrailing next to each other? So I looked into it, and I saw that the chemicals needed to be mixed, but they couldn't be mixed on the plane in the containers because it would be volatile. So the thing that they were looking to get, which of course is a form of covering, so it's like a synthetic covering. Those chemicals couldn't be mixed together because they would solidify in the tank and be quite terrible. You couldn't get it out. It would clog the nozzles. So I'm going to post a picture of this. So if you ever see planes flying side by side, it's because they can't mix those chemicals together because they'll solidify inside of the tank. And that's why they're putting that shielding up above us where you can see a little bit of the blue, but you can't see through. It blocks a lot of stuff. So that's why planes fly directly side by side, even if there's like, of course, space between them, because they can't have those chemicals go together until they're ready for it to go together, because it's also like a barrier and they don't want to fly through it because it messes it up. It's horrible. It's just horrible. So, and I know everyone here knows that there's a such thing as chemtrailing. Of course, it's just geoengineering, and that is very known. So there you go on that. But back to the thing that they found out in the desert, that tech. I'm looking into that tech, and I'm finding it really amazing. The technological abilities that they have. It's almost like interdimensional Wi-Fi. So cool. And the reason they absolutely have it is because they couldn't get through the rock. They needed to have something above so we could go everywhere. So I'm also going to be talking about, I just want to talk about that real quick, but I'm also going to be talking about the year 2017 when we had that horrific thing happen and we all became oh, what we're living in, this simulation. This is the time when we really became locked down in our simulation, when our reality basically disappeared. And I don't know exactly how many of us made it through that, because it was the end of our world as we knew it. And then we were placed into another simulation. All I can say is very interesting. Let me go into a little bit of detail. It looked like our sun, of course, it was phasing in and out, our real sun, when we had a real sun. Because at one point we really did have a real sun many years ago. And it shifted in and out. It was shifting in and out of dimensions. And it basically did the Samvartica fires. David Wilcock always talks about these Samvartica fires coming. No, they already came. That's already happened. It's behind us. We don't have to worry about Samvartica fires coming in now and burning us to a slither, because that's already happened. Which is hence why we're in the new simulation. It's like a lot of stuff that's already happened is being projected to happen. But actually, it's a base memory, and we're thinking it hadn't happened yet, and it's already happened. It's quite insane, actually. So, and it's not just on that topic, it's on many topics. We think, oh no, this is going to happen, this is coming, when in reality, it's already happened. And it goes for the mud floods, it goes for civilization resets, the Samvartica fires that are coming already came. We already, who survived, lived through it already, and of course, then we're in this reality now. Just strange as can be. It's almost like we live in the Twilight Zone. Not almost like. We are living in the Twilight Zone. I feel like the Twilight Zone. My goodness, we are the Twilight Zone. It also reminds me of when I was really young. I used to watch these Star Trek episodes, and from the original Star Trek. And there's like a lot of scenarios that were in the original Star Trek that have transpired in our reality. One of them I remember is when they had gone to this planet, And these people were really far behind, and they needed to be brought up to speed because of the Klingons wanted to take them over. But there was some kind of thing set in place where they had to have their technology come like it should. But what they were doing was feeding them the technology, so they were going like this instead of here and then here to get them up to par so they could take them over. That's this reality too. We've been fed technologies and things. That's why in such a short time we came from horse and buggy to where we are today, because we've been fed all this technology on such a rate, so they could at that point say you're no longer whatever, and we could legally, through whatever reality is out there for laws, take you over because you're supposed to be up to speed when you get to this point with your technologies. Yeah, it's insidious. So, and there's quite a few of those scenarios on that Star Trek. The old one. So, interesting. So much going on. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, it's like if I want to dive into something really, really deep, and I'm going to be talking about Praveen on the Anchor Watt. Oh, and by the way, Cullum, that video 94, it was taken down. The one where I was talking about the Mandela effect and the vaccines, because the vaccines will be the new COVID-21, where people are going to be dropping dead and getting deathly ill. And actually, let me talk about that real quick. I see 3 sets of vaccines. One set is to kill you now, and to kill you because you're part of the numbers that need to be diminished. The next set is to make you sterile. So the set that's to make you sterile is you're allowed to be alive, and you're going to be the workforce, but you're never going to be able to reproduce. Yeah, that's the next set. And the last one is where they take you over with the AI. And that is set for a group of beings that they want to remain in this scenario for eternity. And those are the true spirit beings, the ones with real beings in them, where we're trapped inside of this. So there's actually 3 shots. Everyone thinks it's one shot, Everyone thinks it's one shot, and no, it's actually 3. So at first I thought, oh my gosh, this is in every single one of them. But no, they're not going to be putting all of that into one shot, because it's a waste. So if you're geared to, in this section, to die, you're just going to get the dying shot. If you're geared to just live, but you're going to be damaged where you can't reproduce, that's what's going to be done in that one. And of course, the last one where they want you to never leave, you're going to be AI. Terrible. Don't take those shots, folks. And I was really upset about them taking down my video 94, because I was talking about the Mandela effect with my brother, where he came across those necklaces that were taken. And I'm thinking maybe I might take out some of maybe I'll edit it and try to repost it and take out the stuff about the shots. Because if I repost it, then I'll get a strike. So far, they've taken down 2 of my videos. One was the Mafia Media Horrors, and of course this one was because I mentioned the word vaccines in the titles, which I will never do again. So, but don't take those shots, folks. Don't do it. So, what else was I going to talk about? I know you probably want me to go into more depth about the 2017, but all I can say, it was a complete reset. None of us, very few of us, are aware of it. They did a great mind wipe on us. This thing was intense. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, we were reset. We're in a simulation. Of course we are. A lot of us didn't make it. Of course not. A lot of us did make it, but a lot of us didn't. I mean, it's All I can say is we're in a simulation. We've always been in a simulation. It was just a transference of a simulation. It's horrific. There's so many things I want to talk about, but I really, since I'm talking about shots now, these vaccines, I'm afraid they might take this one down too, and I don't want to get into too deep of a depth on any subject because I really can't mention the vaccines because the possibility of it going down is pretty great. All right then, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a video on Angkor Wat and everything I saw that and about the Naga. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay then, everybody have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.